lightning quick. And talk about the physicality, Dana Evans wrapping up Clark. The 5th team foul for the Chicago Sky. Some more free throws on Reese. Clark gets freed up.
Caitlinclark has become one of the WNBA's rising stars due to her extraordinary talent and distinctive playing style. But there have been difficulties along the way in her ascent to fame. To try to frighten her, a lot of her opponents and bullies have turned to extremely hostile and unsportsmanlike tactics. However, despite these attempts, Caitlin has maintained her composure, effectively stopping the bullies and demonstrating her competence and tenacity. In an effort to interfere with Caitlin's game, her opponents and bullies frequently use physical aggression. One instance of an obviously illegal play was when Dana Evans firmly wrapped Clark. However, in Caitlin's experience, these kinds of aggressive plays are not unusual. In addition, they try to scare and divert her, and opponents frequently use disproportionate force to protect her. This physicality crosses the line into animosity and transcends the typical competitive attitude. What do you think about why bullies do this? Why do they annoy Caitlin? Yes, obviously, it is because of jealousy and anger, which are the primary triggers of this type of brutality. Caitlin is a target because of her success and notoriety. Despite their best efforts, many athletes fall short of her remarkable accomplishments due to their own special traits and extraordinary skills. Therefore, due to their feelings of jealousy and wanting to harm or destroy her standard, they follow this frustration. These opponents try to prove themselves by taking on one of the finest players in the league, and by playing extremely aggressively, they hope to make an impression. But it's amazing how calm she is. Caitlin maintains an astonishing level of composure in dealing with such harsh and frequently unfair tactics. Therefore, she refuses to allow the harsh play and animosity to detract from her performance. She played very well and performed gracefully. Caitlin chooses to remain calm and show good sportsmanship by concentrating on her game rather than reacting angrily. That is why her maturity and commitment to the sport are demonstrated by her ability to remain composed and perform well under duress. Caitlin demonstrates her abilities and sets a strong example of overcoming hardship in athletics with her composed demeanor and performance-focused approach. She never stops helping her team succeed, and by standing your ground against intimidation, she effectively shuts down the bullies. However, the fact that she maintains her composure and kindness in the face of adversity is a testament to her character and tenacity. Over the past few years, basketball legend Charles Barkley has emphasized Caitlinclark's influence on the game. He called her a bright star, highlighting her amazing ability to perform and show up without teasing or being negative. Barkley further claims that Caitlin has approached her work with quiet professionalism and commitment, concentrating only on her work and allowing her performance to do the talking. But Caitlin's limit has recently been surpassed due to the continued difficulties and frequent attacks by bullies. Therefore, in response to her WNBA Bullies, she has made the decision to stop playing it cool. Caitlin's response in her most recent games has been really impressive, absolutely, and amazing. She has raised her game to new heights by turning the hostility and negativity of her opponents into motivation for herself. Caitlin has successfully silenced her detractors and bullies by confronting the bullying head-on and demonstrating her fortitude and bravery. However, it is an honor for Caitlinclark's skill, wisdom, and character to be able to silence the bullies in the WNBA. Therefore, her story has become an example to everyone, showing that the best strategies for conquering hardship are dignity and grace. The rapid rise of Caitlinclark has left some WNBA players with unquenchable anger and jealousy. Her fellow athletes are feeling envious of her because of her quick rise to fame. They think the league is becoming tense and frustrated because she's getting more attention than she deserves. The level of their dissatisfaction was evident when one player flatly refused to respond to any inquiries on Caitlinclark. Not all of the annoyance stems from media attention. Some players contend that Caitlin has an unfair advantage because of her privilege, which they believe contributes to her success. And some athletes feel more unfairly treated, and accusations have been strengthened by this feeling. Therefore, this criticism draws attention to a deeper problem in the league, one where the relationships between merit, competition, fame, and privilege intersect. Moreover, the anxiety around Caitlin's rising is evident. A growing number of players are openly expressing their opinion that she shines more easily because of circumstances beyond her control. The competition and animosity are intensified by this idea of an unfair playing field. The pressure is exacerbated by the incessant talk about Caitlin's potential for legend status. However, there are also some players who are concerned that her sustained success would eclipse their own diligent efforts at advancement and accomplishment. There's a sense of competition and uneasiness as they worry about falling behind Caitlin's rising star. Despite all of this, she keeps up her remarkable performance. Her tenacity and commitment to the game are shown by her ability to remain focused and professional in the face of hostility and criticism. Caitlin's career demonstrates the intricate mechanics of success and competitiveness in professional sports, despite the high levels of tension. Caitlinclark had not only first-time encountered difficult physical obstacles on the court, she had experienced a particularly harsh screen earlier in the year from another elite WNBA player, Breanna Stewart. In professional sports, such physically demanding plays are not uncommon and are frequently seen as a necessary step for rookies. These initiation rites are meant to put new players to the test in order to see how resilient and strong they are and whether they can withstand the demands of professional competition. The WNBA is not the only organization that embraces the idea of driving newcomers. In many professional sports leagues, it's customary for experienced players to put novices to the test. Prominent NBA players like Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and Michael Jordan all experienced their own welcome to the league moments. For example, the Detroit Pistons, who were renowned for their tough defense and aggressive bad boys style of play, notably put Michael Jordan to the test by pushing him to his limits. In the WNBA, Caitlinclark is overcoming her own set of similar introductory obstacles. In addition to her physical toughness, she received an incredible amount of support and attention during her debut in the NBA. Throughout the history of the league, she has attracted a cult-like following and landed endorsement agreements never before seen. This degree of attention can be advantageous and disadvantageous at the same time because it increases pressure and scrutiny from other players, the media, and fans. However, Caitlin has overcome these obstacles, demonstrating her capacity to withstand the extreme difficulty and intensity of the professional game. Her story is similar to the tales of the past, indicating that great players are defined by their ability to persevere through such hardships. Caitlin is a rising star in the WNBA and a great example of the difficult journey many athletes take from being promising rookies to becoming seasoned pros. Her perseverance in the face of adversity has only served to solidify her standing,